We'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the Buena Vista Lagoon Joint Powers Committee, and it's Monday, January 29th, 2024. We're going to go ahead and do a roll call.
Chair Sanchez is absent. Committee Member Delaney is absent. Committee Member Joyce.
Present.
Committee Member Blackburn.
Present.
Committee Member Luna.
Present.
Committee Member Stimmel.
Thank you so much. All right, item number 2, we're going to move to comments from the audience. Limited to 3 minutes, and these are all items that are not on our current agenda. Do we have any sign-ups for comments?
We have no public speakers.
Okay, thank you. And now I'll look for a motion to approve the minutes from September 18th, 2023.
Move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Push yes or no and then lock vote at the bottom.
Oh, thanks.
Vote is 4-0 with 2 absent.
Thank you. And so we'll move to new business. The first item is the approval of the 2024 meeting locations schedule. Is there any comment on this item?
I brought up the fact that these are very brief meetings, and this is a very environmental type of meeting, yet we're doing a lot of driving in the middle of traffic hour. What was the answer to, can we do this via Zoom? And if not, what about doing it at a time where we're not going to dump all of us out into the middle of traffic at 4:30 in the evening?
Our chamber is not set up to allow Zoom meetings, so if Oceanside is, then possibly all your meetings could be in Oceanside if you wanted to Zoom.
Or the other choice would be maybe a little better time that doesn't drop us into traffic when we're finished with the meeting. How about if I ask for that, I'll just make that a minute motion to be put on the agenda for our next meeting to talk about those 2 items, please.
Yeah, that sounds
And then that way
perfect.
staff can have an opportunity to research it and find out what the options are.
That works for me. I'll second the motion. Any other comments on the agenda? Look good? Calendar looks
You're looking
good?
for a second?
No, we have a second.
Okay.
He was looking for comments.
No comment.
All right. We'll call the roll.
Agree.
Nice.
Vote is 4-0 with 2 absent.
Wonderful. All right, moving to item number 5A. This is old business, and we're looking at an update on Wetlands Reserve Restoration Project and proposed crosswalk at the Audubon Society.
So I'm Jamie Timberlake, Coastal Zone Administrator. So I don't have any updates on the crosswalk at this time, but it has been assigned to CIP staff to do a feasibility study, and it's been budgeted for.
Wonderful. Do we have any public comment?
There is no public comment?
Is that a broad statement across the rest of the agenda? Okay.
Yes, it is.
Then I'll stop annoying you for it. Item B would be updates from SANDAG or AECOM on the technical studies performed to date. We have a presentation. Awesome.
How do I? Oh, there we go. You guys can hear me. So thank you. I'm Kim Smith with SANDAG, and I'm the project manager for the enhancement project. So I believe I have 2 updates today. The first is kind of where we've been or what kind of activities we're doing right now for our 2 grants. And I know Councilmember Joyce had requested a full-blown presentation, so I'm sorry. I think this kind of will get you up to date, but in the future, if you'd like the whole background or as we move forward, this year is going to be our pretty much the meat of the grants, like the design and results. So I'm happy to always come back to this committee and give more of a presentation with our team. So just in summary, in 2020, the The modified saltwater alternative was certified, the EIR was certified for the selected preferred alternative for this project. Since 2020, we've been working very hard with the committee, with our ad hoc committee for funding, to identify future funding to bring the project through design to shovel ready. And so in 2021, Sandag received 2 grants totaling $4 million from the state. We've received $3 million from the Wildlife Conservation Board and $1 million in Prop 1 funding from CDFW to move the project into design to get it shovel ready. So funding supported planning activities, including technical investigations, our 30 to 65% design, and also working with the landowners of the Buena Vista Lagoon on a draft master agreement. And that master agreement will outline, all the steps we need to take once construction is happening on easements and what that looks like for everybody. In early 2023, so last year, our consultant began technical studies. And if you guys were out near the lagoon, you might have seen there were biologists out there. We had some boats in the middle of the lagoon conducting geotechnical analysis. So that started in January and February. We did updated vegetation assessments. We looked at the bathymetry, so what the lagoon looks like under the water. We looked at topography, and then concluded those geotechnical investigations to look and see what does it look like, what does the soil look like, are there opportunities for beneficial reuse, can we put it on the beaches. So that concluded in last spring or early summer, and then the remainder of last year focused on finishing up those analysis and moving us closer to the beginning of design. In the fall, we met with both cities, to project landowners and stakeholders, to update them on our progress, to talk about constraints and opportunities, and to really gather input as we prepare to move into this 30% design. And so it was both City of Carlsbad, City of Oceanside. We met with property owners, Department of Fish and Wildlife Service, the Audubon, who owns land in the northern part of the lagoon. We met with the Buena Vista Lagoon Foundation and some of our resource agencies, so the United States Fish and Wildlife Service, Coastal Commission, and all those meetings, very good. Everyone is supportive of the project moving forward. So this year, we're going to be focusing really on taking all those beginning analysis and moving into 30% design. We're finishing up the geotechnical investigations as we speak and our sampling and analysis reports. We're working with the City of Carlsbad to begin our geotechnical investigations for the Carlsbad Boulevard Bridge, because we will be replacing that bridge. All the technical analysis, including modeling, so modeling sea level rise, tidal and fluvial, the water quality, scour and bank protections, and our bridge structural analysis. So we'll be completing those 30% design plans in the fall, and then moving on to our 65% design memo in early 2025. And I believe it's March of 2025 is when both of those grants wrap up. In addition, we just brought on our legal consultant finally to help with starting the meetings out with the landowners on this draft master agreement. We've got a lot of work to do this year. We'll be coming back to each of the stakeholders, the landowners, to update everybody on where we are. And we're open to give presentations. I appreciate both of the jurisdictions and all the folks that agreed to meet with us and to hear about the project and to give us information that we needed moving forward. So thank you.
Any other questions from?
I just had a quick question. As far as sand disbursement, so that's assuming there's some dredging or there's some of that, has there been discussion as to where that sand would be going?
So in the environmental document, we actually looked at locations in City of Carlsbad and Oceanside on where we would put that sand. It looks like we have the estimates right now are over a little over 1 million cubic yards of material that need to come out of the lagoon. And our construction method moving forward, we're looking at kind of a similar situation to what they did at San Jalisco, where we had an overdredge pit that it'll likely be in that Coast Highway Basin. And so they dig out the overdredge pit and they take the good material, put it on the beach, and then take the material that's not beach quality sand and put it in the overdredge pit and cap it. So for San Elijo, that really helped with us not having to take that material offsite, trucking, all those things, and it really worked well. So that's kind of the construction method we're looking at moving forward, and why we have to do all these analysis to support that.
So there will be some sand remaining on the Carlsbad side.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You talked about the property owners being involved in this, and I'm so sorry. Normally I would give you a heads up that I'm going to ask this question, but I just thought of it. Just a rough idea, how many property owners are affected by this and how many are actually participating in the outreach?
So there are, I believe it's 5. So the main reserve is owned by the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. We've also got NCTD owns a little bit of the rail right away. CDFW owns, CDFW, Caltrans owns a little bit of the right of way over highway, so that's 3. On the north side, Buena Vista Lagoon Audubon, they own a little piece of the property, and then Railroad Bridge to the west, where the inlet is, we've got the St. Malo Homeowners Association, along with a couple private residents, and then on the Carlsbad side, I believe it's the Beach Homeowners Association. We've reached out to all those entities. A couple of them we didn't want to have meetings for an update, so but I'd say the majority of them did.
So you're getting good participation,
Yes.
Especially from the residents, is that right?
Yes, yes. And then also, I believe the Buena Vista Lagoon Foundation, they are also made up of residents South Carlsbad there, and then some folks on the north side participated with the Audubon Society.
Okay. The reason I asked this question is because when this first started many years ago, I was part of this, and I jokingly say it was an example of too many cooks in the kitchen, and every entity was going in a different direction, and we were getting nowhere. And I'll give Esther credit for this. She's the one who kind of took the bull by the horns and said, how about will Sandag help us take the lead on this? And that's where that came from. Those days are gone now. Everybody's working in the same direction. Is that accurate?
I believe so, yes.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry if I missed this, but I think you said there's about 1 million cubic coming out, but not all of that is good. So do you know
Correct.
about what percent is usable or not usable?
I don't at this time. They're
Okay.
still doing the analysis, but I'll be able to hopefully soon get you that, get that number.
Awesome. Well, I don't have any more questions unless there's any more from up here. Yeah, we don't. We'll have to take that offline or afterwards, but we're all here, so we'll be around. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, item 5C would be an update on the Buena Vista Lagoon Enhancement Ad Hoc Committee.
Okay, great. Next up, on the Park Planning Manager, we received an update from CDFW, which stated that they had been conducting cattail removal efforts at the Buena Vista Lagoon Ecological Reserve to improve habitat conditions as well as increase the efficacy of the vector control treatments for mosquitoes. The reduction of cattails within the BVL occurs during September through February to avoid disturbing the nesting season, specifically bird species such as light-footed ridgeway rail. The past few months, CDFW has removed 13,457 square feet along the southern shore of the Buena Vista Lagoon Ecological Reserve. CDFW has also partnered with the Buena Vista Audubon Society to remove cattails, and the BVAS will be removing approximately 405 square feet surrounding the 2 docks along the Nature Center Trail at BVLER.
Wonderful. Are there any questions? Oh, sorry. Yeah, that was the cattail update, yeah? It's all right. We did 5D, so now we can circle back to
Apologize
5C.
about
No problem. I didn't catch it.
Sorry about that. I think 5C is me. So this is an update on the Buena Vista Lagoon Enhancement Funding Ad Hoc Committee. So this is the committee that was formed to talk about the future funding. We met last Friday to discuss any updates on where we're at with trying to find funding. Sandag, as I said, we have the $4 million in funding, but right now staff is working with our consultant. We're going to be submitting another grant application to CDFW Prop 1 in order to get us through 65% design. So the last round, we had asked for the bigger amount, and they only gave us $1 million. So it's only allows us to get up to 65%. Like we have a 65% design memo as our deliverable. So the funding we're going to be asking for is getting us through 65% in order to get us a shovel-ready project. We met with CDFW in the fall, and they were very receptive. They have this rolling application for funding that is in the Prop 1 coffer, and so they were very eager to see us apply again. So we're working again with staff and our consultant to hopefully submit a application within the next month for the gap funding to get us shovel-ready. And then as far as construction goes, that it's not funded at this time. We plan on beginning conversations with entities. We talked about Port of LA, Port of Long Beach, entities that potentially would need some sort of enhancement or lagoon restoration for mitigation for projects. We're also going to be meeting with Caltrans to see if there is a possibility. There was some talk about potentially some federal infrastructure dollars. Could this project be, tied to the I-5 North Coast Corridor program and or the double track, just like San Elijo? Could it be a one and done? Everything gets done. Caltrans has been receptive to having this discussion, so there'll be more to come on that. We gave the committee updates on the status of where we were on the 2 existing grants, and then our ad hoc committee will be meeting again in April or May. And that concludes my update.
Any questions? No? All right, thank you so much. Those are exciting. It sounds like there's a lot of pathways, which is always a good thing. Okay. Do we have any general committee member comments? All right. Item 7, our next meeting will be on March 18th, and it'll be back in Oceanside's house. All right. Without any further comments, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you.